Доброго дня. Сьогодні
So good afternoon. Today in the press center of Ukrainian Crisis Media Center, we are welcoming the important event. USAID is announcing the competitive selection of 25 communities for participation in the USAID program, Decentralization Offering Better Results and Efficiency. DOBRE program is a program that is being implemented by global communities, and it is funded by USAID. The program covers 7 regions, oblasts. These are target oblasts: Kirovograd, Kharkiv, Kherson, Mykolaiv, Ivano-Frankivsk, Ternopil, Dnipropetrovsk, and it covers 75 amalgamated communities. The program helps the communities to improve services provided at the local level, to revive local economy and counteract corruption. And today I'm happy to introduce to you those people who are engaged, have been engaged into DOBRE implementation since 2015. This is Deputy Minister for Development of Communities and Territories, Mr. Nehoda, and Director of USAID DOBRE program, Barry Reed. We are also in contact today with Susan Cohort, acting as head of the mission for USAID in Ukraine, Mr. Bohovin, head of Zaporizhia Oblast Administration, Mr. Osachuk, head of Chernivtsi Oblast Administration, Vitaly Zagayny, first deputy of head of Chernihiv Administration, and Ms. Olga Gavrilenko, head of Petrikivska Amalgamated Community from Dnipropetrovsk Oblast, and Mr. Kaznevetsky, Lenovetska Community from Ternopil. And Ms. Cohort, the floor is yours now.
вітаємо.
I'd like to say hello to all of the participants here at this event, and I'm very pleased to join you today. Ukraine's decentralization reform is providing an exciting opportunity for Ukrainians to benefit from and to drive the development process in their own local communities as powers devolve from the central government level down to consolidated communities. USAID is Ukraine's longtime partner in local governance. Over the years, we've supported legislative and fiscal decentralization, and most recently, we have worked through DOBRE to help Ukraine's newly consolidated communities to improve local governance. Today, through DOBRE, we are helping local governments to provide better services and manage their resources more transparently. And we are helping residents to participate in the decision-making process. DOBRE is helping these residents to take on more responsibilities, to become more active in the governance process, to voice their concerns to local government officials, to advocate for change, and to engage in crucial government oversight. Today, as we've heard, USAID has taken 75 consolidated communities in 7 oblasts, which represent 850,000 residents down this path. Many of these communities have become examples of excellence in local governments in Ukraine. And the word has gotten out about the progress that these newly consolidated communities have made. Quite frankly, we've received numerous requests from other oblasts and other communities to participate in the DOBRE activity. And we have heard you. I'm very pleased to announce today that USAID will be providing an additional $17 million to the DOBRE activity to extend our efforts to 25 additional communities, consolidated communities, in 3 new target oblasts: Chernihiv, Chernivtsi, and Zaporizhia. This will bring the number of USAID-assisted communities to an even 100 and will increase the number of oblasts in which DOBRE works from 7 to an even 10. In addition to helping to develop additional consolidated communities, DOBRE will begin supporting specific policy development initiatives at the national level. The goal is to make effective decentralization a reality across all of Ukraine. I look forward to working with our partners at the Ministry of Regional Development and in the Verkhovna Rada in integrating the lessons we've learned at the local level into policy and legislative initiatives. In conclusion, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the government of Ukraine, particularly the Verkhovna Rada and the ministry, and to you personally, Mr. Nahoda, for your continuing commitment to decentralization reform. We are proud to partner with you. Thank you all, and please stay safe in these challenging COVID-19 times. Дякую.
Пане Кутур, у мене до вас запитання.
Ms. Cohort, I have a question to you. You know that Ukraine is switching to the new phase of the reform of local self-government and territorial reorganization of authorities. So do you believe that USAID priorities will change in that respect? And another question to you, is USAID planning additional assistance at regional and sub-regional levels?
Well, USAID's priority has been and remains supporting the decentralization process here in Ukraine. We want to see further progress, and we will continue our technical assistance to help Ukrainian communities and the national government go down this road. Recent legislative developments that indicate an end to the consolidated community process before local elections in the fall is a positive development, we feel. And we at USAID in general, around the world, we have a particular interest in strengthening local governance and at the local levels. And that is because we feel that this is the level at which we can best impact people's lives. And I am pleased that here in Ukraine, this local approach has achieved concrete results through the DOBRE activity, as well as through our joint efforts with another decentralization partner, the Association of Ukrainian Cities. As I mentioned before, we are also looking to expand our effort to bring more of our local perspectives that we have learned through the DOBRE program to the national level. I'm very optimistic about decentralization reform when I hear from all of the different communities around Ukraine and realize what they have achieved and just how profound local empowerment through decentralization is. It generates a sense of deep responsibility for good governance at the local level. And at USAID, we are looking forward to seeing and supporting more of this throughout the country as Ukraine progresses along its European path. And as far as additional resources, I think we've just spoken about 17 million more resources devoted to helping the decentralization process advance here in Ukraine. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Vyacheslav, it's no secret that DOBRE program is closely working with the Ministry of Regional Development. So what was the valuable contribution of DOBRE into development of local governance? How is it different from other similar programs? And another question to you. What do you believe in this period? Ms. Susan mentioned that this is another phase of decentralization reform. So what should DOBRE focus on now in the period of 2020-2021? So above all, let me welcome today and congratulate us all on the launch of new phase of our activities. Above all, I welcome Ms. Susan, and I express my deep gratitude to USAID in Ukraine. Thank you for these activities, for this work that you've been implementing in Ukraine for a long time, for your support of local governance, support of development of local democracy in Ukraine. This is the support that we've been experiencing and feeling for many years now. What's especially important for us is the support that we refer to as decentralization process, but actually it is about the reform of local governance, territorial organization of authorities, and that's a very important area of the governmental activities. Not only governmental, but also parliamentary initiatives are focusing on that. And let me mention that actually this area, this policy, remains one of key priorities for the government for this year and for the next years. And today we are approaching a very important and to some extent the finalizing phase. This is creating territorial bases, the communities and for rayons, for districts. I emphasize that because actually DOBRE program represented by Mr. Reid today, and I'm so happy because we've had a number of meetings already to discuss all of these aspects, support for local self-government reform. So this program is very timely, I guess, for Ukraine. It came here when we started implementing the decentralization reform, and I would like to use the opportunity and to address the other participants here to invite them to emphasize that in their activities that the reform, the communities appeared due to the launch of this initiative at the reform. I mean, first, there was the idea of the reform for local governance based on decentralization approach. Without that idea, we would not have been speaking about the new phase, about the successful 75 communities that are covered by DOBRE program. We would not be in the position to actually discuss anything like that. So it is very important that now, at this phase, we focus all of our efforts, all of our expertise and skills on completing this reform and completing it successfully. Now, speaking about your question regarding DOBRE program and how it is different from the rest. Actually, you're right that in Ukraine we have a number of international technical assistance projects. They have their own approaches and styles. DOBRE program decided on a very effective approach, I believe, because they not only speak about the decentralization process and support it, even though they do that and they support other reforms in that context as well, but they also decided to focus on specific communities and using them as role models, as pilot communities, based on this kind of showcasing of what can be done in the framework of decentralization or developing efficient communities. The program has been proving that the reform is efficient. For us, it is very important because just recently we had a meeting where we discussed first outcomes, first results. And I would like to emphasize that these results are very positive because due to support by DOBRE program, the communities have started applying more systemic approach. They have better results now. And that is also an important outcome of our collaboration with DOBRE program. And what was your second question? Can you remind me? A question to the ministry. Maybe your goals for 2021, right? What we are planning to do next, I believe that's interesting for you all, for those who are working with the program now and those who are going to join the fourth batch, so to say. So let me just divert and express gratitude to Ms. Susan, because actually today we open these great opportunities for 4 more regions: Zaporizhia, Chernivtsi, and Chernihiv. I remember them well. And these are new opportunities for communities. It's not only about geographic expansion, but these oblasts that have been selected, they have some specific features versus other regions. So that's an important step, not only to, again, to expand the geographic coverage, but also it is about dissemination of those principles, methods, approaches of DOBRE program. And we very much welcome that on behalf of the ministry and would like to thank you for that. Now, speaking about prospects and what are our expectations. You never know what actually is going to happen, but what we expect is this. This year, we believe a very important step will be implemented. It is important decision-making, important for communities and for rayons. So new communities will be set up. And it is very important that this experience that has been accumulated already by DOBRE program, that it were used after local elections in autumn for the benefit of prospective communities. So together with DOBRE, we will think about how to disseminate, to roll out this experience to new communities, newly amalgamated communities. Then I mentioned that, and maybe we will discuss it in more detail, but actually what's important is that now there are 25 new communities that will win the competition. And after local elections, well, that period will not be that long for the new communities. However, they will have a chance to work with DOBRE team. And all in all, for the ministry, for the government, for Ukraine in general, having implemented or having made the key decisions for decentralization. It's not only about establishment of those communities. This is also about amending legislation on local governance, on local administrations, amendments to budget codes, amendments to education, social protection-related legal, legislative acts, etc. So actually, all of that will open new opportunities for us. On the one hand, for local governments. On the other hand, it will also delegate additional responsibilities, duties to local governments. So they will have to make their own decisions on their further development, on their strategic approach to their development, use of funds, communication with their communities. And again, the experience of DOBRE program will be very much of use for those communities. All in all, I believe that we will continue working efficiently with the program, and we will think about how to set up a system for monitoring and evaluation of results, outcomes, performance of those communities. And we will have about 1,400 of those communities. So how they're going to act under the new framework, how to provide support for them. So there is a lot of job, a lot of work to do, because resolutions of the government, that matters, but most important things are still ahead. Thank you for that detailed comment. Now, Mr. Berry, I believe that online audience are looking forward to your announcement of terms and conditions of the competition. So can you explain how DOBRE is going to select new partners?
Sure. Thank you. Well, it's really my pleasure, of course, to be here. And you know, 4 years ago when we started it and we looked and thought 75 was a huge task, and now it's 100. So so we really appreciate the trust and confidence and the partnership we have with USAID, our donor. But I also want to acknowledge the great partnership we have with the ministry, with the 7 oblasts, the original oblasts, our 75 communities, and really all the other stakeholders who have been a part of all this success. It's been a lot of work, and as I like to tell communities joining, and when I announce a new cohort, it is a lot of work. So cohort 4, you be prepared that this is a lot of work, because what we're doing is, as the Deputy Minister mentioned, you know, we're creating models for the other Hamada around the country. So, as has been mentioned, we've added time. We're going to extend the program. The program's being extended until September 30, 2022. And we're going to add 25 new Hamada in the 3 new oblasts for us, Chernihiv, Chernivtsi, and Zaporizhia. First, I just want to say, what's important is that our goal is to try and create a successful community. We want to make sure that communities are able to succeed under this decentralization reform. And the way we do that is we work directly with these 75 Hamada and soon to be 100 Hamada on their capacity, on developing the systems and approaches that are sustainable to making sure they can implement this decentralization reform most effectively. We have an index that you can see here that measures a lot of the main components of local governance in Ukraine. And we take each one of our communities through this assessment annually. The 75 communities so far have done it 3 times. We'll soon be able to do the new cohort the first time. But you can see kind of the areas that we cover. So leadership and planning, financial management and budgeting, service delivery, community participation, and each of those is broken down into sub-parts. And then there's a score given to each one so that we can track actual progress of the communities. And so let me show you for the moment where we are with the existing Hamada. So on the left, you can see by each indicator, by each component, how the communities have done. And the blue starts the first year, the orange is the second year, and then the greenish color is the third year. And you can kind of see the movement in each of the different components, how they've gone. And then on the other side actually takes a look at is the average of the total average out of a score of 100 for each, the average of each Hamada by type. So we did it by town type, by settlement type, by village type. And you can see that they started out at about 1/4 of what was possible. For the settlements and villages, they actually started out at 1/5 of what was possible. And now all types are up to about half. The town type's above half, and the settlement and village are just below the halfway point. So, but this is what we use to be able to track actual progress. And you'll be able to see it as a community, your citizens can see it, we can see it. And so it gives you a real idea of what kind of progress you're making in the reform. In terms of our support, we provide a comprehensive level of support really across all the functions of local governance. So you can see here, it will start with development of a strategy that we will help you develop in a participatory fashion that takes a look at your community and where you are today and where you want to be in a few years from now. And we'll help you plan how to make that jump from now to the future. And then once we have that strategy in place, then we start working in the different sectors. So financial management and budgeting, local economic development, improved services, more engagement with citizens, mobilization of youth. We found it's critically important for communities to try and get youth more involved, both to bring energy and ideas to this reform, but also to encourage young people to stay in the communities, because we understand that's a huge problem in our partner communities. Gender issues, making sure that everybody in the community is a part of the reform and a part of what's happening and the part of the progress in any community. And then we also look at, IT solutions. We found that Ukraine, of course, is very advanced in terms of IT, and so we like to take advantage of that. And then better communications. How do you, as a community, engage more effectively with citizens by telling them what you are doing and then asking them to tell you what they need from you? So all that is to say that we provide a lot of comprehensive support across a lot of areas, but it is a lot of work. And we have a couple of our communities, a couple of our mayors who are going to tell you how much work it will be. But now I want to tell you about how to get into the DOBRE program for Hromada from Chernivtsi, Chernihiv, and Zaporizhzhia Oblast. So here's the basic thing. We're announcing, of course, today that, we're expanding to these oblasts. Over the next couple of weeks, there will be a series of online presentations to communities in these oblasts to explain both the program, but also to explain the specific application process. There will be an application. Communities have to apply to be a member of the DOBRE program. Applications will be due on July the 20th. But we will hold a series of webinars and give you access to different people to support your process, but you will have to let us know that you want to be part of this. It needs to be existing Hromada. They need to have been in the perspective plan for the oblast, and they need to exist as of right now so that we can, hit the ground running and start working immediately upon announcing the winners just after the local elections. After the initial application, we will then review the applications, and then we will develop kind of a short list, and we'll do a second round application where we will do interviews in the communities, and then we will also ask each of those Hromada to undertake a task where they involve citizens in some sort of activity. And then once we have those results, then we'll select the final 25 communities. We will do that, as we said, after the local elections, immediately after. We'll make sure that the communities who applied still want to be part of the DOBRE program. And there will be a requirement to sign a memorandum of cooperation with the program, which kind of lays out what we expect of you and also what you can expect of us, what we will do. So that's the basic outline. It's a lot of work, but we've seen such great results. We have great communities, and we really look forward to finding 25 additional great communities in these 3 new oblasts, and we're just excited about it. So thank you, and please pay attention to announcements about the upcoming webinars to learn more about it so that you can get your application in by July 20th. So thank you very much.
Дякуємо, пане Бері.
Thank you, Mr. Berry. And I would like to emphasize it for amalgamated communities that this information that has been now presented by Mr. Berry Reed is also available on the website of the Ukrainian Crisis Media Center, decentralization website, and Facebook page of DOBRE. Mr. Berry, in the first part of your address, you've mentioned rather important, serious criteria that you apply to amalgamated communities. So I would like to ask now Petrikivska amalgamated community and Ms. Olga, how did you manage? So, question to you, Olga, what was the positive impact of the program on Petrikivka? I remember that our anticipation, as well as those three oblasts today, we were looking forward to announcement of the winners. We were so eager to participate that we were sure that we would be selected. And the dream came true. Since October 2018, the life of Petrikivska Hromada and DOBRE program intertwined so closely that sometimes I'm thinking about what will I do when the program is over? How will we survive without you? Because actually you conduct trainings and conferences, and we have those meetings and trips and discussions. All of that is so important, so interesting. I was positively surprised when my staff, the officials and local residents, they said, we have changed, we are different now, we have different mindset. Because implementation of those projects, well, they were implemented together with DOBRE program. That's about mutual dreaming, discussions, not sleeping long at night, but the result is good, it's positive, and we are grateful to all partners to DOBRE program. I will not list all of our projects now, because it will take time, but actually 2019 for our community, for Petrikivska community, and for me, it was a year of meetings, trips, impressions. It was so rich for us, creative, unexpected to some extent, and I'm sure that it's the happiest year, because that was not only about meeting people, but also about overcoming some challenges, facing challenges. It happened a year ago when we participated in a reality show, Exchange of Mayor reality show. And, you know, actually it teaches us a lot of things, because you need to keep your balance. You need to know how to respond questions, but it not always works out. And frankly speaking, it's hard. It's a hard job. And a politician, a mayor of 50 years seniority today, very ambitious mayor, he was delegated to the Ukrainian Petrikivka, while me, a modest, kind woman, I went to Santa Marinella town. So we implemented various tasks. We responded to some unexpected situations, eating seafood as well, and it was so hot, you know, and the sea was nearby and very tempting, but no, I didn't have time for that. So when I was going home, I thought that, oh, it's over and I will forget about that as if it was a dream, a night dream, but no. And residents of Petrikivska community and Santa Marinella community, they have a lot of things in common. Loving people, the desire to develop their communities, promoting folk craft, and so we still keep in touch. We call each other, and happily it is continued in January this year upon invitation of municipality of Santa Marinella with the support of Ukrainian embassy in Rome. We and our crafts persons, we went to Santa Marinella again, and we decorated the facade of the library, and together with the crafts persons of Santa Marinella, we created this joint masterpiece. Further, collaboration is now suspended due to the pandemic, but we developed plans together, and I believe that if you hear about DOBRE program for the first time, maybe you have this question: who got the million? We got the million, and that is the million of visitors to our settlement, million of smiles, moments of positive experience, million words of support. So I'm grateful to members of the program team. Thank you for helping us to develop collaboration, friendship. Thank you for teaching, training us, motivating, and helping us change. You are super team, and today we hear this great news that there will be a competition for the 4th cohort. It means that you stay with us. And we are so happy for our colleagues from Zaporizhia, Chernihiv, Chernivtsi. Do win, and you will be partners of our favorite international program, because with DOBRE everything will be fine, everything will be DOBRE. So, thank you so much, and could I make use of your time and take 30 seconds to show to those oblasts, to the communities that are going to become DOBRE partners, and can we show a video for them? Let us show you this teaser of Hromada for 1 million that we showed on TV channels, that we broadcasted on TV. While my colleagues are preparing that, let me check if Mr. Kaznowiecki is ready to respond. So the question to you is this, and maybe you will need some time to think, but think well. So how much does DOBRE kind of take from your daily agenda? How much time do you invest into collaboration with DOBRE? Do we have the video ready? Communities of European countries with millions as budgets, they share their dearest, most important things. 16 specialists dive into the unknown. They leave their possessions for 1 week to get new emotions and knowledge. Teachers, doctors, hoteliers, tourism, culture and youth specialists, leaders of villages and communities. They received their fulcrum, and now they start moving. A revolution of mindset, of perception, of feelings. That was easy, piece of cake. So, exchange of specialists, professionals, international season. Europe is here in your head. So now Roman Kaznowiecki, leader of Lanevecka amalgamated community, Ternopil region. So how did DOBRE program change people in your community, and what would you recommend to future partners, to participants in the competition who would like to join DOBRE. Can you hear me? Good afternoon, Barry. Good afternoon, Vyacheslav. Good afternoon, colleagues. And best wishes to Petrikivka. Due to that program, DOBRE program, we met and now we are good friends. So you asked me about how much time it takes. Well, I would say that it is 30 to 40% of our work time, but we are happy with that. It's not just for me, but for other members of my team. Speaking about, what was your second question? How have people in your community changed? Well, that's easy. People started smiling. They have a wider mindset, and actually now you can see the cultural center. Barry remembers that because we launched it last year together with him on the day of the town. And this cultural space impacted the youth in the community in a very positive way. It's just 1 year, and in view of the pandemic, we calculated it together with the manager of the center that about 6,000 people have visited this center. I expected it to be 3,000, but actually our estimations prove that it is like 6,000, and it is 50% of our community. Mostly it is used because we have movie shows, and also elderly people, they have clubs, they have some interest to share, and that is due to DOBRE program, and that they came and they motivated us. And Europe came with those good experts of DOBRE program, and people are changing due to the impact and contribution of those experts. Thank you, Roman. Thank you for being so brief. Thank you for showing us your beautiful Yelovitsky Center. And now let's pass the floor to heads of oblast administrations, 2 heads and 1 deputy head. And I have one question for you all. So how do you see this triangular municipal, regional, and project-based international technical assistance project-based collaboration? So what's your vision of this collaboration? And we start with Mr. Bohovin, head of Zaporizhia Oblast Administration. Can you hear us? Welcome. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I welcome you on behalf of Zaporizhia Oblast Administration. It is my first day at work today at this position, so thank you for inviting to the conference to participate. I'm very happy that this year you decided to expand and to make it possible for communities in Zaporizhia Oblast to join the competition, to participate in DOBRE program. Let me emphasize that Zaporizhia Oblast already has some experience of collaboration with the agency, with USAID. We are successfully implementing projects for economic support for Eastern Europe, support for agrarian and rural development. We are successfully implementing the project for economic opportunities for people affected by the conflict implemented by Взаимодействие. As a result, well, people left their homes in temporarily occupied areas, and now they have a chance to improve their business skills. They received some grants to buy equipment, to launch their startups, and this creates new jobs. In the framework of the project for support of micro businesses, experts with extensive experience of doing business are operating. I'm sure that DOBRE program will create new opportunities for development of local governance and better conditions for development of amalgamated communities, higher citizen engagement, and accountability, transparency of local governance. I hope that our communities will actively participate in the competition, and they will duly compete with communities from Chernihiv and Chernivtsi oblasts. I wish all the prospective participants of the competition every success, thanks to USAID for selecting Zaporizhia Oblast as one of participating oblasts. We invite you to our territory, we'll present our achievements, and we'll engage. Thank you, Vitaly, and we wish you inspiration and a lot of energy in this new position. Hope for fruitful cooperation. Mr. Osachuk, head of Chernivtsi Oblast Administration. We welcome you from Bukovina region. It is so nice that Chernivtsi Oblast, which is a European showcase of Ukraine, we have rich European history, and with the support of this program, and most importantly, due to efficient implementation of the decentralization reform, we managed to go back to our European standing, to the basis of our success of the modern Ukraine, and we are sure that this is the only way to become the dignified among the dignified in the European Union and globally. So to achieve that, we need to adequately implement these activities, and participation in these programs may cause euphoria. You may expect a lot of resources, financial support, gaining this new premises, cultural facilities, developing and reviving the life in those communities. So all of that matters. But what is really important is to start thinking in a strategic way, planning the strategy for your development and taking it into account that decentralization, above all, it's about undertaking responsibility for your life and for your success. So above all, I expect a positive effect of prospective participation in DOBRE program in this aspect. I mean that we will know how to adequately plan development of the communities. This is the greatest value that I'm looking forward to. But it's not enough to just know the theory or to read about success achieved by other oblasts and other communities. It would be really good that in the territory of Chernivtsi Oblast we had hands-on, practical implemented projects, and hopefully we will have enough communities that will win the competition, and hopefully we will inspire other communities to work in such a thoughtful way, because the knowledge that is passed over to officials of these communities, they will not be reserved to those officials and those communities. Hopefully it will be possible to roll out those experiences, we will be able to share. So we are ready to collaborate, and we assure you that we will be reliable partners. Thank you for this emphasis, thank you for your statement of your expectations, and hopefully the Oblast will have these opportunities. Now, Mr. Zahainy, First Deputy Head of Chernihiv Oblast Administration. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. It's so nice to be among those oblasts and to represent Chernihiv Oblast as another one joining DOBRE program. It is a very important step in order to enhance, to develop capacities of those communities. Some of them are brand new, they were established in 2019, and then it will be possible to develop best practices and to roll it over to the 58 communities that are planned in perspective plan and since October 2020. And I would like to briefly mention that my previous experience of working with DOBRE program, it was in Mykolaiv Oblast as an expert. We helped their communities to develop their centers for administrative services for local economic development. And now it would be interesting to take that experience, expertise that I have accumulated and to apply it here in Chernihiv Oblast. Answering your question about how we see this triangle of the program, community, and oblast administration, I believe that there it offers great opportunity for the Agency for Regional Development to have its say, because it is the platform that is being developed now in collaboration with the communities And this is the tool, the mechanism that we believe will work efficiently using all those opportunities that are offered by DOBRE program. The priorities that were mentioned, it is local economic development, citizen engagement, youth engagement, all of those are very relevant for us. And also we are very much interested about this idea of IT applications, IT solutions that could be used at the local level that DOBRE is going to promote for amalgamated communities. And let me just say that we have our own initiatives there. We launched a geo portal of city development data information, and we are ready to suggest that for amalgamated territorial communities. So we are sure that engagement of Chernihiv communities will be very much of use. We are sure that we will be in the position to collaboratively develop interesting and good solutions that could be further rolled over from those communities that are included into the program to the rest of the communities. I wish us all fruitful participation, and everything will be dobre. Thank you, Vitaly. And now, dear colleagues, actually we have like 20-30 seconds each, like wishes to future winners or participants of the competition. Vyacheslav, I would like to thank Oblast administrations for their representation at very high level today at this event, because it might seem that it is kind of a low-scale, modest event, but actually it is a very important step that we are doing today together with DOBRE program. It is important for the communities that will join the program. And the fact that these oblasts have been selected, were selected, that's also actually due to you, but it also implies a lot of responsibility. We would like the communities that participate to be active, and it's not about that an agency comes and develops a strategic plan for them. No, they need to be active, they need to engage. Chernivtsi Oblast, for example, Mr. Osachuk said that they are kind of showcase or carte de visite of the European Ukraine. That's important, and there are a lot of poly-ethnic communities, and that's important because we have those communities in Odessa, in Transcarpathian regions, so it's important to engage them into the competition too. So all in all, I would like to express gratitude to Suzanne, to the program, and to the team that works implementing it, to Mr. Barry Reid personally, for the professional and well-organized activities within the program. And sure, I wish them all success, and every success to Ukraine in general. This year, we are looking forward to a lot of change, transformations, and let's hope that they will happen for the better. So good health and good luck. Barry, floor is yours.
I just want to say thank you, of course, to everybody involved. And I want to say good luck to all the Hromada in our 3 new oblasts. It's a special family that we have in the Dobre community, and we look forward to adding 25 more. Again, it's a lot of work, but I do want to say it's your work. We don't do the work for you. We will help you do work so that you can continue to sustain that work going forward long after the Dobre program is gone. And so that's part of what we do, and that's why it's individual to each community. So we look forward to getting to know each and every one of the new oblasts and 25 new Hromada. So good luck, and we look forward to seeing you.
Ще раз дякую всім учасникам.
Thanks again to all the participants, and let me remind to participants of the competition, all the terms and conditions are available on the mentioned web pages and on Facebook page of DOBRE. And we wish you a creative approach, every success, and let your work change life of community.